What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the JuiceBox presented by Lock City. Munz and Wighty here with another UFC Fight Night podcast. But before we dive in, as everyone should know by now, I'll remind you if you don't, we are running a sale for 70% off your first 3 months of Lock City, which is applicable to both our weekly and monthly subscription plans. All you have to do is head to lockcity.gg, click join now, and use code SPRINGFEVER at checkout to apply the savings. Also, very quickly, if you want some of the best odds in the industry, we highly suggest checking out thunderpick.io. Additionally, you can use our promo link tinyurl.com/lcthunder to get a 100% deposit bonus up to $600 on your first deposit. They accept the majority of major cryptocurrencies, and you can now deposit using credit card or Visa debit. Alrighty, enough of that. Let's get back to the chill vibe of this. Let's look at this card. Whitey, my man, how you doing today? How you feeling about this UFC event this week?
Very good. I like it. A lot of Mexicans, a lot of Mexican fighters. Obviously, it's in Mexico City. I should have started with that, but excited for it.
Yeah, a lot of Mexicans, decent amount of Brazilians. Seeming like a Mexico versus Brazil kind of card we have here is what I'm seeing online. So should be interesting. I like it. Let's get into it. So our first fight on the main card, we have Ronald Rodriguez and Kelvin. Say his last name for me. Borjas?
Borjas.
Borjas, okay.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's coming into this one with a record of 17-2-0. He's 2-0 in the UFC, looking to improve to 3-0. He has 12 wins by finish, 7 by KO, TKO, and 5 by submission. Kelvin Borjas is coming into this one with a record of 9-3. He's 0-2 in the UFC with the potential removal from this roster with a loss in this one. Of his 9 wins, 8 of them come from KO, TKO, and 1 decision win, which tells us this guy, he's a finisher. He's solely looking for the knockout finish most of the time. He is coming off 2 straight losses, with one of them being a TKO. That, as you know, is not good in my opinion. I don't really like going with guys who are coming off a knockout, especially one who's on 2 straight losses. Kelvin does have the reach advantage by a decent amount. Ronaldo has a slight height advantage. Looking at the books, Ronaldo is the heavy favorite in this one, and I believe with good reason.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think, firstly, this will be a pretty entertaining matchup overall. I think both these guys are pretty talented. They have good technique. I think we're in for a pretty good fight, almost a banger to open up this main card. I think the odds are reflecting that it'll be pretty close, with Ronaldo coming in as only about a 150, 145-ish favorite. That being said, I do like Ronaldo Rodriguez here as well. I think he'll be able to maintain pressure. I think he's a better grappler and better wrestler than Borjas. On top of that, I think the fight's in Mexico City, obviously, so we have Rodriguez in front of basically a home crowd. I really like him on the money line here at 145, and what'll probably be a decision win, but you're getting close to even money for him on the money line, so I would take that.
Yeah, I'm seeing the odds drop a bit. He's minus 164 now. Um, but like the guy's on a 7-fight win streak. He's on a 6-1 before his most recent loss in 2020, and as you can tell, he hasn't lost since 2020. 7-fight win streak. As you said, Mexico City, sticking with the Mexican in this one in his homeland. He just seems like the more well-rounded fighter and better fighter, in my opinion, that can get it done in any fashion. Kelvin shows us he likes to kind of stick to the stand-up. I don't think he does too well on the ground, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm sticking with Kelvin as well.
With
I think.
Ronaldo, you mean?
Sorry, Ronaldo. My bad. My bad there.
Yeah. If you're
Um,
betting this on the money line, I would do it at DraftKings also, because it is 148 on DraftKings. I think it's
that
160, whatever, on FanDuel.
how we looking on Thunderpick?
Oh, shit.
Where we
Sorry,
were
Thunderpick.
promoting it
For
to.
this one,
Yeah.
we're sliding with DraftKings. Apologies, TP.
Damn. Damn. How do you do that, man? We promote them at the start and everything.
For the other five, we'll rock with them, but for this one, I gotta rock with the odds. I'm going DraftKings with the boost.
With the boost, I like it. You can't argue against that, honestly. All right, what's
Yeah.
our next fight? We got David Martinez and Saimon Oliveira. All right. Looking at David Martinez, he's coming into this one with a record of 11-1. It's his UFC debut, and he enters this on a 7-fight win streak. Hasn't experienced a loss since 2021. Also, of his 11 wins, 9 of them come from KO, TKO, the rest from decision. Oliveira is coming into this one with a record of 18-5. Oof, he's also 2-0 in the UFC since joining after winning Contender Series. Yeah, he needs a big one in this one to potentially stay on the roster. I believe it's 3-fight contracts that they win when they win Dana White's Contender Series. So if he loses this one,
I
going
think
0-3, yeah, if he loses this, goes 0-3, then I don't know. It's safe to say we probably won't see him in the UFC promotion anymore. He seems to be a grappler and a wrestler. He's got 5 wins by KO, TKO, and 11 by submission, so that kind of speaks some volume there. I think we can see this one go to the ground a lot if Saimon can get proper control, but doesn't look too great since coming in the UFC, and he's coming off a KO loss by knees to the body and punches. Knees to the body and punches.
Yeah, that's rough. This
Yeah.
one, yeah, it's an obvious David Martinez for me. Saimon Oliveira has lost his last 2 fights, hasn't fought since 2023. His most recent 5-fight span goes back to like 2019 or 2018 or something like that. So
Yeah.
his last win inside the octagon was in 2021 on Contender Series. He's 7 years older than Martinez. He's just too rusty to consider taking here, I would say. Martinez is a good striker. I think he'll find good success against Oliveira and keep Oliveira from finding his win here. Again, I'm going to give it to the Mexican on home soil. I'm going to go David Martinez minus 375 ish money line it was earlier. I don't know what it's at right now, but I look forward to the UFC roster watch tweet early next week, letting us know that Saimon Oliveira has been cut from the UFC.
Yeah, that's most likely going to be the case. I mean, this is definitely his biggest test, and we know in the sport that we love, anything can happen in one single punch. So Simon could end up with a KO victory with that lucky punch. Very doubtful, but that chance is still there. Um, yeah, I mean, he's got the reach advantage by a decent amount. David's got the height advantage, so like a lucky punch could happen. But as we can see, the guy's got 11 wins by submission. He's not a knockout artist like Martinez is, we could call him. So I'm calling David Martinez for the W. It's minus 400 to take him money line on FanDuel. Um, let's make it even more interesting. I'm calling David Martinez to get a knockout victory. Just straight up, forget a double chance, knockout.
All right, let's see it.
That's plus 130 on FanDuel, guys. So get to it. I don't know what it is on DraftKings. What is it on? I don't even think. Can we get it on? No, they don't have extra props like that on ThunderPick. Just straight up to win the fight. So yeah, I'm taking. Oh, is it under methods there? You found it?
No, sorry, I was gonna say on DraftKings it's plus 140.
Okay, so a bit better on DraftKings, guys. Bit better on DraftKings. What's our third fight of this card? Raul Rosas Jr. and Vince Morales.
Yes, sir.
Morales. Raul Rosas Jr. is coming into this one with a record of 10-1-0. He's 4-1 in the UFC. He's on a current 3-fight win streak. 8 of his 10 wins come by finish with 2 knockouts and 8 submission. This guy likes to wrestle. Vince Morales, he's coming in with a record of 16-9. He's 0-2 in the UFC, with both of those losses being his most recent fights, of course. He has 7 wins by KO, 5 by submission, so it's a pretty solid test for Chiwiwis here, but yeah, height is virtually even. Vince has a reach advantage that could benefit him if he can figure out how to use it correctly, but what I'm seeing is it's another fighter on this card to set up to take a loss and an exit from the UFC. We got another 0-2 fighter on this card here, so
Yeah, we got a lot of guys that have lost their last 2.
right?
This one again, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just agreeing with you.
Oh, my bad. I was just gonna say that's another one I think is pretty straightforward. Raul Rosas, I think, wins this probably 10 times out of 10, and probably by submission like 8 out of those times. I think he's gonna take Morales down. Probably time and time again. He's probably gonna find success here in the grappling department. Morales does like to grapple as well. But Rosas comes into this 14 years younger and more skilled where it matters. I don't think we're going to see much stand up here. I think a lot of Morales' recent success, again, has come via submission, but I don't think he's going to be able to hang with Raul Rosas. I think Rosas controls the pace here and either does that for 3 rounds or finds a submission finish. So I like Rosas money line. Rosas submission was somewhere around like plus 200. I like that as well. Money line was like minus 450, so not a ton of value there.
Yeah, it's at minus 480 right now, the money line. He's 14 years younger than Morales, eh? That's insane.
Yeah.
I also have Raul Rosas here. It's pretty straightforward. It was minus 400 literally yesterday. Um, yeah, you could take him double chance. Like, he's going to win by finish, I personally believe. You could take him double chance. Let's see what those odds are here. Yeah, KO or submission is plus 170, not bad. Minus 140 for KO or points, minus 300 for submission or points. If you want to play a risky one, I just straight up take it by submission plus 250 on FanDuel, like what he said there. But yeah, Raul Rosas for
Yeah.
this one for both of us.
Yep. It's going on the ground.
It's always going to the ground, man. Always going to the ground. All right. Next up on this main card, we got Kelvin, Gastelum, and Joe Pyfer. The fucking boys, actually.
Yep.
Kelvin's coming into this one with a record of 19-9-0 with 1 no contest. He's 13-9 in the UFC with that 1 no contest. He's 2-3 in his last 5, and he's coming off a decision win in his last. Pretty shaky record as of late. You know, back and forth between wins and losses. I think he went on a 2-fight win streak maybe, but other than that, it's been pretty back and forth for him. He has 11 wins by finish, 6 by KO, TKO, and 5 by submission. Joe Pyfer's coming into this one. He's got a record of 13-3-0. He's 4-1 in the UFC, 4-1 in his last 5 fights, and coming off a win in his most recent after a loss in the one before. Before that one loss that I just mentioned, he was on a 5-fight win streak, as well as 12 of his 13 wins come by finish, 9 by KO, TKO, 3 by submission. Like, the guy's a freak. Joe sits also with the height, reach, and hype advantage, you could say, over Kelvin coming into this one. Looking at the odds, yesterday he was minus 330. Today he's minus 330 as well, so no change there.
Nice. Yeah. I think this one will be exciting. Like you said, Joe Body Bags Pyfer has a 5-inch height advantage, I think, and nearly like a 4-inch reach advantage. So he's won 4 out of his last 5. I can see why he's such a heavy favorite. He's been working with Sean Brady. He's riding high on the Philly momentum there. He's 13-3, like you said. And to me, he just looks better in every way when looking at this fight. I don't think Gastelum will really be able to take Pyfer down. I think most of this fight happens probably standing up. Pyfer has obvious advantages should that be the case, and I think he could get a decision win here, a knockout win here. He does only have 1 decision win, I think, under his belt, and Gastelum's chin is pretty great. So I don't know if Pyfer gets the KO finish here. Maybe he drops him and then submits him or something. But either way, Pyfer money line minus 310 here is the one for me.
Yeah, I'm on Joe Pyfer as well. Got to ride with Joe in this one. I just don't see a way that this fight doesn't go his way. I know you said Kelvin has a chin, which he does, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything can happen, right? Yeah, Kelvin has never been knocked out, so if anything, we'll probably see a submission victory for Joe here if he doesn't bring it to the scorecards. But yeah, I'm riding high with Joe on this one.
Yeah, knock him down and gill him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next up we have what seems to be a pretty even fight. We got Manuel Torres and Drew Dober. So Manuel Torres is coming into this one with a record of 13-3-0. He's 3-1 in the UFC since winning Contender Series. 4-1 in his last 5 fights, and he's coming off a TKO loss in his most recent. Yikes. 14 of his 15 wins, though, come by finish. Or, sorry. Whoa. I'm wrong there. But he's got, he's 15-3-0. 14 of his wins come by finish, 7 KO, 7 submissions. He's only been KO'd once, and it was in his most recent loss. Drew Dober's coming into this one with a record of 27-14-0. He's got 1 no contest. He's 13-10 in the UFC. He's 2-3 in his last 5 fights, and he's coming off 2 straight losses, with the most recent one being a TKO doctor stoppage to John Silva. Manuel holds a very slight height advantage and a decently significant reach advantage. They're both coming off losses, so they'll both be hungry with something to prove. Me personally, I'm leaning towards Manuel Torres to take this one and to take out the vet in Drew Dober. Despite a win in 2023, Drew was not able to get one in 2024, even when taking it to the scorecards for decision. They have it pretty even. But I think Manuel takes this one with ease.
Interesting. Okay, this is actually the first fight on the card where I'm not going to be picking a Mexican. That's
Oh no.
probably one of the biggest things for me that swung me toward Torres, and I feel like this pick is definitely going to bite me in the ass, or potentially one of the ones that could. But I'm going to go ahead and take Drew Dober. I didn't like the way Manuel Torres fought Ignacio Bonhomondes. I don't think we can hold a ton against Drew Dober for his recent two losses against Gene Silva and Manny Moicano. He went to a decision with Moicano, and then it was a TKO via doctor stoppage in the Gene Silva fight. So he's shown in the past he can take big shots. I think he can edge this one out. I'm going to go Drew Dober money line. It was around minus 110 earlier. I don't know what it is now.
Yeah, minus 115 for him, minus 111 for Manuel Torres right now. I think it was minus
Right.
108 for Manuel, or no, it was minus 118 yesterday for Manuel, or Manuel, I should call him Manuel. But yeah, I'm sitting with Manuel on this.
Sounds
I'm
good.
sitting with him
First one
money
we
line.
differ on. This will be a
First one
good
we
one.
differ on, and who knows if we differ on this one coming up? Let's find out. Actually, I'm pretty undecided for the main event, guys. We got Brandon Moreno and Steve Erceg. We got the Baby Assassin and the Astro Boy going up against each other. The odds in this sway pretty heavily. I think they're pretty weird. I think they should be closer, but that's me. And what does my word have to say for anything? So let's get into this fight. Brandon Moreno is coming into this one with a record 22-8-2. He's 7-3-1 in the UFC. He is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, and he's coming off a win in his last after losing 2 back-to-back. 16 of his 22 wins come by finish, 5 KOs, and 11 submissions. Steve Erceg, the Astro Boy, is coming into this one with a record of 12-3-0. He's 3-2 in the UFC. 3-2 in his last 5 fights, and he's unfortunately coming off 2 straight losses, with the last being a TKO by Kai Kara France. 8 of his 12 wins come by finish, 2 KOs, and 6 submissions. So we can see both of these guys are pretty decent on the ground. Moreno, though, has not been finished in his UFC career, I believe, and I don't think this fight is going to be any different. I believe we will still see him not get finished in the UFC. But I don't know. I have this weird feeling about Steve Erceg. I don't know. I feel like he can squeeze it out in decision. But I'm still pretty frankly undecided on this one.
That's interesting. I don't see Moreno losing in Mexico City. I don't know how Erceg's going to do at altitude for 5 hard rounds, but I know Moreno can do it. He's done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Moreno looked really clean his last time out against Amir Albazi, and this is his return to Mexico after his only ever loss in his home country that came to Brandon Royval about a year or so ago. So Moreno's only 3 losses in the UFC. Were that split decision to Royval, another split decision to Pantoja, and then a decision loss to Davison Figueiredo. So I don't think Erceg is in the same category as any of those guys. And again, I don't see Moreno losing in Mexico again. I think Moreno money line at minus like 240 or whatever is a good parlay piece. I like him here. I don't see Erceg winning this one, unfortunately, and it sucks because he's a really good fighter. He's going to drop 3 in a row, but match him up with somebody a little bit lower.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Something just doesn't sit right
We will
with me.
see.
I'm honestly right in the middle between them both, but I don't know. Like you said, can't really see Brandon Moreno losing again in Mexico City. Like he's got something to prove. He's gonna go out there hungry and swinging. But I don't know. Steve Erceg also has something to prove. He has to show that he can hang with all the big boys, right?
Yep, we will
Which
see.
yeah, which I think he can. I think he has the potential. So I don't know. We will see on Saturday. Stay tuned, guys. For those into the Discord, you'll get my pick on Call the Card most likely by tomorrow. I need to sleep on this one. And yeah, for the rest of you, tune into the Discord to see what we decide for this one, or see at least what I decide for this one. Anything else you want to touch up on here?
No, I don't think so. Really excited for this card a little bit later in the day, which is fine. It's not super late, so excited for some good fights. And yeah, the last 2, it sounds like we could potentially end up differing on. So excited to see how those go. And the first 4, I think, are absolute locks.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. I would have to agree with you. Well, from everyone at Lock City, we appreciate you guys tuning into this podcast. 70% off our off your first 3 months of Lock City, applicable to our weekly and monthly subscriptions. Just head to lockcity.gg, click join now, and use code SPRINGFORYOU at checkout. Also, tinyurl.com/LCThunder to get a 100% deposit bonus up to $600 on your first deposit to thunderpick.io. They accept majority of major cryptocurrencies, and you can now deposit using credit card or Visa debit. Like I said, from all of us at Lock City, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one, and good luck with your bets.